Got the King Richard the Loinheart in this battle, wearing chainmail with his goofy sidekick over that way, Ashton Cage, who wears sunglasses with chainmail.
I don't understand this whatsoever. We got a half-dressed hoochie at ringside thinking that she's something special when she's not, and you got some punk-ass 11-year-old kid dressed up as a fugitive from a video game. And there's Robert Evans right there slapping the taste out of King Richard's mouth, which he should, going for those forearm shots. I don't even know if it's legal for him to wear that chainmail shirt in there, and he looks like a reject from the Village People. Taking Robert Evans down, taking him to task with a bunch of illegal fists to the head of Robert Evans. I'm telling you, he needs
to open those fists right now. This is horrible. Come on, ref, do your job.
I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a strict meeting after this show tonight at PCW Uncut's Evolution. I'm going to take every official to task. Another spear-like takedown, and again, Richard showing his elite, and showing his repertoire right there, which is nothing but a bunch of illegal punches to the head. I know there's bad blood between these two. This match has been set up for a couple of weeks with King Richard sticking his nose in Robert Evans' business. King Richard's trying to make a name for himself right now. Robert Evans showed his generosity and his gratitude by granting a title match right here, because Robert Evans is going to go down as the greatest Uncut champion in PCW history.
Yeah, he actually will. And I thought he was an honorable king, if he's supposed to be one at all. King Richard was very honorable, led the Crusades, and this King Richard right here is nothing but a cheap shot and little hoe bag wearing chainmail because he thinks he's a king.
He got dropped on his, this is the history of King Richard. He got dropped on his head by Chris Richter. Chris Richter, who is notorious for hurting wrestlers. I mean, he's reckless. I mean, I appreciate a guy getting hurt. When I want a guy hurt, all I have to do is snap my fingers, write out a check, and somebody gets hurt. But let me tell you something.
I was there.
He recklessly hurts people at Abandon. And let me tell you something. He dropped this guy who went by Dick Loin, was his actual name. He went by that name. His backyard is as trashy as that sounds. So he gets dropped on his head, comes back a few weeks later, and he actually thinks he's a king.
Well, he heard me say, "You're the king, Richard," you know. He heard me say that when he got knocked out. That's all he heard. He come back thinking he was a king. He's crazy, and Robert Evans needs to actually stop this guy.
Robert Evans has that chainmail shirt off the back of King Richard right now. Just whipped him with it and now choking him with it.
And that's exactly what he needs to do.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm going to grant a little leeway in this match because obviously the officials here are so stupid they're not going to do this. Since he wore that into the ring, if that chainmail comes into play during this match, I'm going to allow it. Because as far as I'm concerned, if King Richard wants to wear that into the ring as part of his wardrobe, as part of his gear, that's fine. It can be used any way it can.
That was great. King Richard thrown into that railing, and I loved it.
Canadian whip into the railing right there, and just dumped over the railing into the first row ringside. That's where King Richard belongs, is with the commoners, the troglodytes, the peons.
That's right. He belongs to sit next to Graham Turner.
And now the fans clearly cheering. They're biased for King Richard, led by the lady in waiting. Oh, no, reversal right there. Robert Evans goes into the guardrail.
Well, that cheating king trying to use the environment as a weapon because he doesn't know how to wrestle is what we're seeing here.
Yeah, I've seen 3 wrestling moves from him tonight. A punch, a kick, and a tackle. Whoop-de-doo. Come on, King Richard, show us your wrestling expertise. Show us what you're made of. If you want to be PCW Uncut Champion, which is a pipe dream in my opinion, then show us you got the caliber, the class of a Robert Evans. Robert Evans looks like he's going for a abdominal stretch. No, pump handle type slam. Oh, right into the ring post.
That's very good, Robert Evans. Way to go. That was a class. See, what Robert's here doing, he's not cheating. He's just actually returning the favor. What he's doing is he's out thinking the king and beating him with his own maneuvers.
A sign of a great wrestler and a sign of a great champion, mind you, is isolate a body part and work on it and work on it and work on it until your opponent can't stand up. It looks like Robert Evans has isolated the abdominal region of King Richard. The stomach for you layman's out there. He looks like dropping him over the rail a few times into the ring post. He just dropped a modified short alpha flight headbutt into the midsection of King Richard. And now an abdominal stretch, somewhat modified by Robert Evans, PCW Uncut Champion, on King Richard.
I mean, I don't even get the little group. I don't think they jump up on the apron and try to stop this. I mean, honorable, huh? Is that what they're trying to go with, honorable? It's just awful. That's all it is.
Oh, reversal and hip toss right there by King Richard. One of the 4 wrestling moves I've seen now by King Richard. Going for a clothesline and missing. Elbow and missing. Robert Evans showing he's too smart for that. And right back to a modified abdominal stretch
he
again.
Ran right back into it. That's how smart King Richard is.
Robert Evans in full control right now. I am so proud. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I am so proud he is our Uncut Champion. He represents PCW Uncut unlike no other. And here at PCW Evolution, where the fun begins, let me tell you something. He is, King Richard using a couple of illegal fists right there, but modified cradle right there by Robert Evans going for a boot, but King Richard caught him in Saguri, sending King Richard to the mat.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant, Robert Evans. Headed him in the foot, made him think that he had him at a disadvantage. Robert Evans kicks him in the back of the head, and I love seeing that.
Another sign of a great wrestler and a great champion is you're always thinking 2, 3, 5 maneuvers ahead. Steamroll right there by Robert Evans into another modified Alpha Flight headbutt to the midsection of King Richard, going for the cover, hook in the leg 2, but not quite a count of 3.
This match is going over greatly for Robert Evans, the current PCW Uncut Champion. Wow. He's held this belt for quite some time. Nobody's been able to take it from him. And it's beautiful to see a champion of this caliber in the ring. And
again, isolating the body part of the abdominal region of King Richard with a leg scissors across the abdomen of King Richard, working on the chin, talking track. And again, King Richard, his only repertoire that he has is punches. So he's punching to the head of Robert Evans. Robert Evans breaking the hold. I don't know why the referee wasn't counting there. Again, official stupid clothesline by King Richard, knocking Robert Evans off his feet. Reversal by Robert Evans, and he goes for a belly-to-belly suplex. Again, isolating the abdominal region of King Richard.
Very smart is Robert Evans. Robert Evans, and you got to excuse me, I'm still kind of dizzy here.
I understand, Code. Take your time.
But Robert Evans is one of the greatest in this business, and he's showing it right now by being an illegitimate king. And I can call myself king coming out here. I'm King Code, huh? How would that sound? That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it, to be a king?
You can be a king. I'll be an emperor. How about that?
Yeah. I like emperor. Emperor sounds cool. King.
But here we go. Again, it looks like Robert Evans going for a suplex. Inside small package by King Richard. But Robert Evans quick to recover. Another kick into the midsection, isolating that body part. Going for a vertical suplex, but no.
I've got a question
for you, Paul. Down into a modified gourd buster by Robert Evans, right down on the stomach.
I've got a good question for you. These guys that come out with King Richard, which one of them drove the short bus tonight to bring them all here?
Oh, since Link's the shortest one out there, I would say he drove the short bus.
He's the only one that can drive, apparently.
Referee stopping Robert Evans right there from using that chainmail. Another headbutt into the stomach of King Richard. Again, 1, 2, but not quite a count of 3. Robert Evans is a good 6'2", 6'3". His feet inadvertently got tangled up in the bottom rope.
You know, and if Robert would have known that his feet were on the rope, he definitely wouldn't have done it. But like he says, he's really tall. Really tall.
Oh!
That right there.
Tilt-a-whirl facebuster across the knee.
I'm telling you.
Robert Evans is an innovator of moves. He is just such a classic champion. I know it sounds like we're on the Robert Evans bandwagon, but let me tell you something. There's no reason not to be on the Robert Evans bandwagon at this point. The most successful PCW Uncut champion in PCW history, and again, a modified leg scissors. Not a flashy maneuver, but effective, Code.
Effective to that abdomen that he's been working on this whole entire time, and he's trying to make the King feel the pain of all of this, because when he puts that wonder touch on him, what do you think is going to be more effective? It's going to be that abdomen.
All I can see is a 1, 2, 3 being counted at the end of this match, with Robert Evans having his hand raised in victory. That's my prediction.
Oh, yeah, and I totally agree with it.
If I'm going to be a Nostradamus and predict the future of this match, that's exactly what I see.
Well, you're so right, because these people that come out with him are not going to do a lick to help him even try to win that title.
They're incompetent and they're incapable of helping win the title. And what kind of champion